Good afternoon and happy Super Bowl Sunday, everybody. This may not be the greatest idea to post this during the Super Bowl, but you know what? I hope that the YouTube algorithm doesn't suppress it and you guys actually can see this video. I just want to start off by just thanking you guys for all the great support on my last video. I really didn't think that was going to get as many views or as much support as it got, mainly because one, I didn't have my script with me and I was just kind of freeballing and trying to remember what I wanted to say, but also because I hadn't uploaded in almost a month. So yeah, I just want to say thank you guys so much, and all your kind comments really meant the world. In this video today, we are going to be talking about, as men, trying to find purpose and fulfillment in life, as it kind of feels like everything is trying to force us into a certain role, into a certain mindset, and how it's getting harder to really differentiate between reality and what's kind of fake. And by that, I mean social media and the lives of people that you think are doing well, but are probably actually not. I'll have some timestamps because then I'm going to go into some detail about what I'm doing personally to help get more in tune with myself of who I am as a person and how I understand the world and how I'm trying to understand what I want out of life and how I'm trying to find fulfillment for myself. So to start the video, I want to pose a few questions here. What is life's purpose? What does it mean to have truly lived? Is life just about finding what works and then carrying on the same path forever? Is life about making a difference in the world? You know, thinking about these questions to myself, they kind of spawned from me really just sitting there and thinking, man, I'm really just kind of coasting along. Life is kind of just happening. There's not really much that I'm doing to improve my life in any substantial matter. I'm kind of just comfortable and cruising. And I realized I wanted more from my life. I wanted more fulfillment. I wanted more purpose. And that's kind of where I am now. And, you know, let's try to search for that. You know, looking back on it, I'd say since I was 18, it's been pretty difficult to understand what my purpose is in the world. What am I meant to be and what am I meant to do? I know deep down I want to make a difference, but at what scale? In my area of expertise, I'm not really sure. I made a video talking about this a while ago, but I feel like I'm just kind of satisfied with my life right now, but I'm not really truly fulfilled. There seems to be a calling from deep down where I know I'm meant for more, and I am meant to be more than what I am right now. But I'm feeling almost stuck, or I was feeling almost stuck, and I didn't really know which direction to go or how to move forward. Through my late teens and early 20s, I felt like I lost my purpose. As a man, I felt like society started telling me that wanting to lead was wrong, that wanting to be tough was wrong, and that protecting and providing for people I loved and cared about was wrong, and that everything that I thought was true or knew to be true was all a lie. I started going along with what I was told every day because I thought that's what it meant to be a great man, a man of respect, a man that people would look at to say, that's what a man should look like. However, I did not feel like myself. I found there to be situations I was restricting my own personal beliefs, opinions during conversations out of fear I'd be seen as not what society wanted out of quote unquote a man. Loneliness began to drape over me like a weighted blanket, and as the days slowly ticked by, I began feeling depressed, as if my life was already over and the rest was about doing as I'm told and not to upset anybody. As if my job was to try to make everybody happy so we can all live in harmony. We all know that's a lie, and that the world is not a place where everybody thinks, acts, or believes in the same things that you do. Nobody wants to see you succeed more than them, even though they'll say they want the best for you, which is what I want for most people, by the way. I want people to live and be successful, but a lot of the time when people say that they're happy for you, there is probably a part of them deep down that's kind of jealous. But realistically, that's just normal human nature. We all want to be better naturally, you know? But yeah, we all know that it's false, and that at the end of the day, the only person you can truly count on to always have your back is yourself. Me personally, I love my fiance with all my heart, but there will always be situations in life where she is not there to support me, and I need to pick myself up and keep going at it alone until I can get back. This is where the present day appears. I've committed this year as the year to where I truly start my journey to learning and expanding my thoughts, skills, and abilities. My time has been sucked up by my phone and electronics, and I intend to make this year a year that I grow and learn about the world and myself. I honestly believe that men who do not understand themselves cannot expect to understand the world or others. I don't know if that was said by anyone, but I'm saying it now. But I do truly believe this, and that you must know oneself before you attempt to understand others. Now I'm going to be kind of talk about things that I'm going to be doing, or at least attempt to do, and go about achieving these goals in order to expand my mind and truly understand the meaning of what it means to be a man in the world and what life's true purpose is and how I can really feel fulfillment in life. I don't believe that happiness is what everybody should strive for. I believe it's fulfillment, because when you feel fulfilled, you will naturally feel bliss. You will feel happy with what you're doing. If you're chasing happiness, you may never chase fulfillment. I don't believe that your purpose in life is to just be happy and be able to do whatever you want to do every single day. I believe that the real purpose of life is to find true fulfillment and create something that will be remembered forever. So, step one to my enlightenment journey, I want to read 12 books. This may seem kind of corny, weird, whatever, but when you read, you kind of are thinking alongside somebody else. I heard somebody say this. The words on the page were written the same way you read them, which, like, duh. But when you're truly reading word for word, you're reading somebody's thought process, and that's basically a true connection to someone else's mind. Human connection is very important, and in this world we live in now, it feels like we grow more distant as the years go by. Reading also allows me to critically think about topics I may never have read about before or even thought about. I'm currently reading The Art of War, and as I understand, the book is about war tactics, but it also has many passages that touch on human psychology and ethics and morals, and the repercussions of acting in war or just in conflicts in day-to-day life. I'm also trying to relate these kind of war games to things that could happen in my daily life. So when conflict arises and action is impulsive, weighing the outcome of potential lost friendship or a burned bridge with a coworker may not be worth it. Winning the argument over something trivial may not be worth it in the pain and consequences that follow. I may make a video about my favorite books that I've read throughout the year, and see what you guys think, if any of you guys want to take up this hobby as well. But yeah, leave a couple comments for me, and maybe if some of you guys are interested, I'll do that. Number 2 is going to be picking up my acoustic guitar again. Back in the day, I want to say about 10 years ago at this point, I taught myself how to play acoustic guitar, just straight from YouTube. And the day that I was able to switch from a G chord to a C chord was honestly one of the most proud moments of my entire personal life. And I took on the task that I'd never even come close to attempting, which was learning that instrument. I'd never played any kind of music in my life. I hated the recorder during school. It was horrible. You know, my fingers hurt. I sucked at doing the most basic things on guitar. But man, when I switched from G to C, when I tell you, oh baby, I was so happy with myself. There's also just something about music and being the one that's creating the sounds that strikes a deep chord, no pun intended, in my soul. It's kind of a connection with an object from the earth. You know, it's wood, it's from nature, and you're almost creating something beautiful together. You know, you're also forcing both hemispheres of the brain to work together and strengthen your ability for memorization, attention, and creating new neural pathways in your brain to just learn new things. So many benefits to playing a musical instrument. I think everyone should at least try to pick up one. Number 3, I'm going to try to restart. I say restart because I used to do a martial art when I was younger. I used to do Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, but I want to start a martial art again. So whether that be Muay Thai or Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Because like I said, I did it when I was younger, and I loved the competitiveness, but I also loved the camaraderie that came along with it. Whether you beat someone or they beat you, there was always a mutual respect for one another. As I get older now and I near the end of my 20s, I'm looking into martial arts as a means to know I can defend myself and my loved ones without lethal violence. Knowing I can physically handle myself in any situation would give me peace of mind, knowing that I could give myself a chance to defend anyone I love or myself and or my property. But now getting to the less violent side of martial arts, there's a really kind of deep reason I also want to get into this. It's to help with my discipline and self-control. You know, those are 2 things you really need in order to properly learn a martial art. It's not easy. You're going to lose more than you're going to win, but it takes patience and self-control, discipline, knowing that one day you'll get there, and just focus. Martial arts are so great for so many different reasons. Health, teaching you humility, and always to respect your opponent, realizing you really don't know what everybody is capable of, and you need to respect everybody and be super precise about every single move you make. And again, another reason is I just want a sense of community in my life. I do not currently have a place or activity that I participate in that gives me a sense of community or camaraderie. I do play baseball in the summers, but when it's out of season, I kind of have nothing other than my work, which isn't really a place of community and camaraderie. It's a place I have to be at, you know? All right, now we're going to get into the kind of weird, spicy things. um, so this one is I'm going to try to keep a nature log and potentially write some haikus. I know it sounds a little odd. This is really, really out of my comfort zone, but it's a way for me to get outside and really connect with what's happening around me. I want to connect with the world and have a greater understanding of knowing I am not the center of the universe and I am kind of just existing in an ecosystem with other living beings. The idea is kind of just to take a moment, sit down, and take in the environment. And then I just kind of draw and see whatever is in front of me and put it in my book, look up what I saw that I drew, their Latin name, what they eat, and I don't know, maybe if it's a plant, it's, you know, where it originates from, whatever, that kind of thing. And then during these moments, if I'm feeling a little adventurous, I might write a haiku. I know, it's getting a little crazy here. But no, seriously, like I'm trying to deeply understand the world and take myself out of the center, knowing that like everybody else is existing just as I am, and to have a newfound respect for everything and also everybody else, just kind of doing what I'm doing, you know, living life, trying to make the most of it. And lastly, I am going to start journaling probably just one thought, but I put 1 to 2 thoughts per day. I was watching a YouTube video the other day about journaling, and it's because I bought a journal a while ago, mainly because somebody told me to, oh, it's good for you, yada, yada, yada. But I never really started. And mainly because I wasn't into the whole, today I went to the store, you know, like that kind of journaling just didn't resonate with me. But this guy, when he was talking, he said 1 thought per day. 1 sentence, maybe a couple sentences, but just 1 thought. And that resonated with me because we have so many, I think it's like 60,000 thoughts a day or something crazy, right? And if I can take 5 minutes to really think about, or to really like deeply sit with 1 thought and then write that down, I think that'll be a good step in the right direction of me trying to understand, you know, what's going on in my life, but also kind of a good way to look back on and just see how much I've grown, what my fears were last year versus now. It's like, wow, why was I even worried about that thing last year? But I won't know if I don't write it down. And I don't know, it's kind of a good way for growth. And again, this is one of those things, like I said earlier, I want to understand myself before attempting to fully understand others. And I believe this way I can really reflect on my own thoughts, emotions, and about different topics that I'm thinking about and see where I can improve on in the outlook I have or reaction to things in my day-to-day life. So I know this was a little bit of a longer video. I think this might actually be my longest video that I've done. I appreciate you guys if you've stuck around all the way to the end, and you know, thank you guys for watching. I will see you guys on Wednesday, hopefully, and hope you guys enjoy the Super Bowl. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you guys then.